So all eyes are on the Cleveland Browns now, as the first day of OTAs for the media just happened. So we really got our first bit of footage of OTAs with all the quarterbacks out there. And I gotta say, it is so weird actually seeing this quarterback room out there because it is such a random spread of players. You got Shedeur, who is bringing all the coverage and media to this camp. Then you got Dillon Gabriel, the undersized lefty, who led Oregon to a perfect regular season. And then you got the vet and Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett is just there too. And I have no idea what his role is right now because it seems like he's going to start, but we all know he will be booed off the field by week 2 or 3 if he does actually start. The reason why this quarterback competition is getting so much coverage though, obviously 1 is because of Shedeur, but 2 is because the competition is wide open. Right now, anyone could come out on top, and also anyone could get cut. It's just been so interesting to follow, and as I mentioned, with the media allowed in practice today, we got so much footage that I want to show you guys and break down. But first, before I get into everything, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so the first clip that has already been getting buzz is from Dillon Gabriel, because one of his passes that he threw got deflected at the line of scrimmage. I know the Sanders fan base is going to be going crazy over this one, and honestly, I'm just happy in terms of Mason Graham for this one because what he can do next to Myles Garrett is going to go a long way for what this team can do defensively and the schemes that Jim Schwartz can draw up. But Mason Graham, as I talked about in my previous video, has kind of been ridiculed for his weight. It was reported that in his first few practices with the team, he threw up on the sidelines after doing a bunch of drills, and his weight has fluctuated back and forth between like 30 pounds. So the Browns are keeping an eye on his health, and they want him to set the right habits in place early to succeed at this level because you really don't want to be fluctuating like that. You want to be around the same weight for your entire career. Obviously, you can bulk, you can cut and stuff, but in a span of 3 months, you should not be 30 pounds heavier and then randomly 30 pounds lighter. That's just not a good sign at all. But anyways, getting back to the batted ball, I have said this all along, but there really have not been many successful short QBs at the NFL level. Obviously, Drew Brees is a name that comes to mind, but even then, in terms of the accolades, he did not really accomplish that much. Baker Mayfield was short. He's an above average quarterback, but he's probably not going to win a Super Bowl, at least in the near future. So yeah, man, it's not a good sign for Dillon Gabriel to already be having tip balls at the line of scrimmage because this is only OTAs. The defensive line is not even being that aggressive. There's no pads. It's almost still kind of like a walkthrough. You want to complete most of, if not all, your passes. And from the looks of it, Shedeur made some spectacular throws today. Again, I know it's OTAs, no pads. I'm going to try not to overreact, but I just want to give you all what you came to see. Shedeur was throwing some dimes, and his footwork just looked so smooth and fluid, much faster than all the other QBs in the room. One of the main clips is one that was released about 10 minutes before the time of this recording. Shedeur dropped back and tossed a dime right into the breadbasket of number 82, and I believe that is Brandon Bates, and he was actually being blanketed as well by the secondary, so great catch and great play by him. But this is just what Shedeur Sanders does, man. His throws have so much touch on them. He can lead his guys to where they need to be. He really stole the show in day 2, and I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be talking about it. He just looks like an NFL player, whether you want to admit it or not. Shedeur made another throw after that to the opposite side of the end zone, where once again he dropped the football in the exact right spot to Trey McKitty. He leaped up and hauled it in. He didn't even have to do a toe tap on that one. I know I've said this like a million times, but I am still waiting for answers on how Shedeur dropped to the 5th round. Maybe his meeting with the New York Giants really was just that bad, or people were scared of Deion, but these throws that I saw today looked so smooth. He looked like he belonged, and honestly, from all the clips I saw today, him and Joe Flacco made the best throws. And speaking of Joe Flacco, let's take a look at some of his footage because assuming he does get some snaps under center this year, I think he is going to have a special connection with Jerry Jeudy. It's already been on display. They connected on a couple of deep balls and Flacco was airing it out a lot today. Obviously Flacco is a vet. OTAs don't mean much to him as he has nothing to prove, so he just let it loose and it was fun to watch. One thing about Flacco that we all know is that despite his age, he has a rubber arm, and that is never going to change. He does not need to generate much, if any, momentum at all. He can just sling it from anywhere on the field. Obviously, his quickness and ability to move around the pocket is starting to decrease year by year now. That's just going to happen as you get older and push 40, and he can be a little bit on the aggressive side and can get himself into some trouble. I know we all remember that wildcard game where he threw back-to-back pick sixes against the Texans, but still, he did go on a 5-game stint where he statistically was like a top 3 quarterback in the league. It was probably the best QB play the Browns have seen in the last 20 years. Actually, it was. It's not even an opinion. It was nuts. And I think he right now is kind of the Browns' security blanket. It's good to know that you have him, so if worse comes to worst, you can just roll him out there and you know what he's going to give you. Another way that Joe Flacco is already impacting this team is that obviously with him being a vet and having experience, he's a mentor as well, and you could see him chatting with both Shedeur and Gabriel on multiple occasions throughout the day. Alright, now it's time to go to Twitter and take a look at some of the reactions and what people and the reporters have been saying about day 2 of OTAs for the Browns. So first off, from Mary Kay, I do have my opinions about her, but she is an inside reporter at the end of the day. She said, Myles Garrett, who posted photos of himself on IG in Japan, was not at voluntary OTAs today. That's pretty much just saying the obvious. Again, it's voluntary. I don't think anyone should be overreacting to that. He's Myles Garrett. He can do whatever he wants. I'm just happy he's on the team, honestly. And really the only thing that's important right now, is Mason Graham getting reps and developing. That's what I'm most worried about. I could care less about Myles Garrett until training camp comes and it's time for him actually to get going. Next up, also from Mary Kay, in offense only drills at Browns OTAs so far, it's been Kenny Pickett first, Dillon Gabriel second, Joe Flacco third, and Shedeur Sanders fourth. I guess the spin here is that Dillon Gabriel was second. I thought Joe Flacco would have probably been second opening up OTAs, but still, I'm not going to read into this too much. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be fourth for a while because at the end of the day, he was the 5th round pick. He still has to prove himself, but I was just hyped about some of the clips I saw today. He made some electric throws, even though, again, no pads. Man, he just looks so good. And then next up from Fantasy Plus, Shedeur Sanders is cooking at OTAs with the eye emoji. Also, here are some of the highlights from the player interviews and what Kevin Stefanski had to say about the day.
I think it's, the outside world makes it up a lot bigger than it is. When you're day to day and you're in meetings with these guys, you're out of practice, we spend so much time together. Of course, we're all competing, but you become friends with everybody. We're helping each other. There's an open dialogue in the quarterback room to, help each other grow. So I think it's a great media headline, but when you get in the building in a quarterback room, at least all the ones that I've been in, you really become friends with these guys and we're just pushing each other.
I think good. I think it's day 2 for us, Tony, in doing it. So I think everybody understands where they're supposed to be and when they're supposed to be there. There's a little bit of directing traffic when you've got 2 drills going on at one time, but they've done a really nice job. The players and coaches making sure that we're practicing in a safe way. We're getting good looks for our guys to learn from on both sides of the ball. I think Jerry is still a young player. I think Jerry has room to grow. I think he would tell you that. There's techniques that he's working on. It was year 1 for us with him, so getting a feel for the route concepts that he's really good at, things that he can improve upon. But with year 2, with a team, you're constantly thinking about that next step, and that can come in a variety of ways. Certainly usage and where we put him and how we use him and what position he's playing and when you're motioning him, when you're doing different things. I think those are all the types of things that can grow into year 2.
Alright, that's really all I have for this video. The competition is really starting to heat up at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. It was great to finally get to see some footage, see Shedeur out there, see Dillon Gabriel out there, see Joe Flacco out there, because I know I covered a ton of Sanders and Gabriel in rookie minicamps, so it was good to see the other guys out there in Pickett and Joe Flacco. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comments below. If you made it to this point and enjoyed, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.